going to be the biggest crash in world history. I can't believe that. I mean, people say, don't fight the Fed and all this. Well, my question to everybody is this: can the Fed print oil? Can the Fed print gasoline? Can it print food? But everybody sits there and they've been brainwashed by Wall Street to go, do as the Fed tells you to do. Well, you got to be kidding me. Those guys are the three stooges, Janet Yellen, Biden, and Powell. You got to be kidding me. Why would you listen to them? I own no stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. I do not touch paper. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying people have been brainwashed by the Fed, the Treasury, and whatever those guys are. Go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, get a high-paying job, and invest for the long term in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. It was in 1974 when I came back from Vietnam, a two-tour Marine helicopter pilot. I saw communism at work. It was not pretty. And I come back in 1974, they passed ERISA. ERISA stands for 401k right now, or IRA. And I went, oh my God, they're funneling my generation, the boomers, into the stock market. And they don't know anything about money. And in 1974, the biggest exodus, Adam, was school teachers suddenly becoming financial planners. I watched that with horror.
Interesting.
I watched it in horror. That's the poor leading the blind. And today we have baby boomers who are hoping the stock market stays up in their 401k just as Social Security goes bust. You think that's an accident? That's all I'm saying. I'm just a Marine. I'm a dumbass Marine lieutenant. Flew the gunship, went down 3 times. But today I listen to this bullshit and I go, oh my God, how can we be that stupid? Because we went to school, we did as we're told. Don't fight the Fed, do as the Fed tells you. Invest for the long term on a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. And don't worry, Powell is now channeling Volcker. When the debt to GDP is 120%, you gotta be kidding me. There's more opportunity today than ever before, but not if you've been brainwashed into going to school, getting a job, paying taxes, live debt-free, and invest in the stock market. This bubble right now, Adam, is a bigger bubble than 2008. This is the everything bubble. It's going to be not only stocks, bonds, but also credit. But it's more opportunity is going to come out of it.
Great day, great day, great day, great day, great day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another day, another opportunity. Great people, I am super excited. Number one, I got another chance to be alive. Man, that's why I gotta always open this up with great day, another opportunity, because you got another chance to be alive. That's the greatest gift on the world. You're looking for something, you got it. You got your life. So now we gotta do the right thing with it, right? But then the second thing I'm excited about, it's been a while. Oh my gosh. I haven't done a YouTube video in so long, and I'm gonna do my best to keep them going, moving forward from this one here. Great people, so much has transpired since the last time that I did a YouTube video. There's so much to talk about, but I want to dive right into this information because as we heard, one of my mentors from afar, Robert Kiyosaki, for my young people, you may have heard of a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You may have read it. You may have been, directed or coached into getting it, but you didn't do that yet, or you may have read it and didn't implement any of the educational tools and educational guidance that he was given for great people. I let you know that is one of the best financial educators of our time. That book, just a powerful book, great people, that you can get your hands onto, especially if you stay in touch with me, great people. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I want to give you the information that you need. And you heard some of the things that Mr. Robert Kiyosaki was talking about, and we got to talk about these things, but I got to also begin with this. This is not financial advice. This is only for educational and entertainment purposes only. Don't do anything that I'm talking about. We're in the information age, great people, and you got to do your due diligence to research. There's no excuse to learning to do anything you want to do in the times we're in. Despite what's going on, great people, it doesn't matter. You have to learn to step up your game mentally, and this is going to help you get to the next level. And I know I don't want you to do it alone. That's why I come out here representing a rich education. So I want to dive right into this information, this great day that we all have, and I'm so super excited to bring it to you. And moving forward, I want to talk about what Mr. Robert Kiyosaki spoke on because it's very, very important. So we heard Mr. Robert Kiyosaki speak on what's going to take place. I really want to focus more on opportunity, but we have to build ourselves up mentally to get to the opportunity. We got to do things fast, great people, really, because everything has changed. And he talked about the school system, which is super, super important because at that age of going into that school system, people, it begins to transform your mind from being a leader, being curious, wanting to learn, wanting to be independent, because this is how we are when we're little. And then once you start reaching that age of 7 to 9 years old, your mind is fixed into basically being a worker. And nothing wrong with having a job. It's a blessing today. But that fixed mindset, that complacent mindset is not going to work today for people at all. So what is a market crash and a recession? And this is what he talked about, because market crashes can be good. So many companies have come about during market crashes. So many other companies that you can look up in Google, I want you to learn to be that researcher, have actually made billions in recessions. So a recession is a period of a temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. Now, generally identified by a fall in GDP, gross domestic product, in 2 consecutive quarters. Stock market crash. A stock market crash is a sudden dramatic decline of stock prices across a major, this is section of stock market, resulting in a significant loss of paper wealth. We're going to talk about that because that's so important. Crashes are driven by panic selling and underlying economic factors. They often follow speculation and economic bubbles. Now, for my youth, even for others who've been in the game, came out of school, and I'm in the University of God, and in the University of God, you can't graduate. You're always learning. But see, those who have their PhDs, their master's degrees, or whatever degree you have, or whatever certificate you have, you, for the most part, with all due respect, have stopped your learning. Okay, so this is kind of foreign language to you, but I want to go more in depth. So when I say go more in depth, I want to do my best to keep it super simple. And the simple thing, this is not easy mentally, but the simple thing is the decision you have to make to know that everything you've been taught, once again, with all due respect, is obsolete. Other than learning to be polite, correct, hope, we were taught to be clean, correct. But as far as education, because we're in a completely new economy, new space, new times, so much is going on and it's not going to stop. So we got to keep up with it, okay? And 2 things that's very important to us, our health and our money. So this isn't really going to go in the text of health. That's a passion of mine, but I will be talking about that. You stay plugged in and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be talking about those things because it's important. So great people, we most definitely heard Robert Kiyosaki speak about what's taking place with the stock market. Now, when you get a job, you do your application, there's a form that they may give you for 401k. You heard him mention that. 401k consists of what? Mutual funds, stocks, bonds, ETFs, things of that nature, all paper assets. And right now, what's a paper asset? It's the US dollar and all other currencies around the world. I'm going to do my best to keep it simple, but the US dollar has become a liability. So the stock market today has lost so much. Up, down. You want to ride a yo-yo or a roller coaster for the rest of your life. So we're talking about more than 7 trillion has been wiped out from the stock market, this year. But this has started taking place. It's been happening for years, great people. The world changed in 1971. And see, when you have a better outlook on the past, you have a greater outlook on the future. So what's within that 7 trillion? Okay, because see, young people, you see this and you have your examples in front of you, but we don't think like this. With all due respect, never putting you down, educational and entertainment purposes only. But when we see an older person still working, okay, or maybe they retire, have to come back to work, their retirement, their 401k, 401bs, other things, stocks, bonds, what else? Retirement. One of the largest pension funds in the U.S., CalPERS. This was years ago I taught on this. If you were to go into my YouTube and see old videos, they're bust. They can't pay the government workers. CalPERS is the largest pension fund in the U.S. in California. So the government workers, they have to really work for the rest of their life. So your retirement is in the hands of Wall Street, and Wall Street claps when it's crashing, and then Wall Street claps when the market's going up. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not saying Wall Street's a bad place, but you don't want your life, your future, your money in the hands of anyone else. So this is when you have to take control. So in recent years, the Federal Reserve Economics has estimates of 600,000 U.S. businesses have permanently shut down. And great people, we're talking about right now, big companies as we see, downsizing, Twitter, Microsoft, Amazon, Walmart, Tesla, okay? The big ones that you know, 4 million quit their jobs in 2020. And a lot of people, going over into this, knowing and understanding that these platforms can generate income from them. We're going to talk about that, okay? 17 million lost their jobs in 2020, okay, on top of people quitting their jobs. So great people, this is important. But a Fed study released on Thursday, and this was a while ago, found that the pandemic has resulted in an additional 200,000 permanent closings of business. This is deep, great people. So it forces us to know that we have to make a change. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to really have to educate ourselves big time. And information is all out there for us. But the risk basically is taking no risk, because you can either do nothing and you're risking yourself, or you can risk investing and learning these things before the opportunity is gone. We got to get financially educated. This is key, because you are taught in the school system to come out and work with cash. And as you know, this right here has really become a liability, taking people's lives away from them. When I say that, your time freedom in the educational system teaches you nothing about it. So this is obsolete. It won't help you at all. Other than learning to network and communicating with people, that's a good thing. But other than that, we need to know about the housing market. We need to know about the bubble that Robert Kiyosaki talked about. Young people hearing this, you may not have known about 2008 and inflation. It affects us daily. It rises, and your income doesn't rise, and the prices rise. So you need to know how to outpace inflation. And there's simple ways to do this, but your health is key. The medicine won't help you. You have to understand what natural things to get your hands on to put in the body, and the importance of really not eating much and exercise. You got to learn to become self-sufficient. You got to be independent. Can't depend on a job. We've gone over the facts with that. This is very important. But when you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, and most people, with all due respect, have a fixed mindset, you want to grow, and you do this with learning. So the growth mindset wants to do what? They want to learn. That's just it. You want to learn. Your mind isn't fixed. You're using one of the things that's not always common, which is common sense. And you're understanding that you got to make a change. And I got a special bonus for you about change. But once again, the growth mindset wants to learn. So these are some steps for you to take to thrive in the present economy, great people, because once again, it's not going to change. Create an emergency fund. Create it. Get 6 months to a year put up, just in case something happens to the job, just in case you can't get to the bank. Okay? So you want to have an emergency fund put up. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take minusing some things out of your everyday spending. A lot of discipline. Get out of debt. Because see, credit and debt are different. Debt is what they may be calling you. You got bad debt. You got to pay this debt off. You got a car loan. You got a mortgage. You got all this debt. But credit is something we need to learn to use wisely. I'll talk briefly on that. But we got to work your way up to getting out of debt. Okay? And look, I want you to get in touch with me, because I want to show you how simple that is. Not easy, because it's a mental shift. Remember, the growth mindset is not easy. but it's simple to get started. And you got to create additional income. Look, if you are the only one that is actually giving financial to yourself and you don't have anything working for you on the side, once again, with all due respect, I don't want you to ever think I'm talking about you. You are a disaster waiting to happen. You got to have something coming in that's not predicated on your time, okay? You got to learn to create additional income. You may have a dream. You may have something you want to go into, okay? And I'm here to support you. I'm here to let you know you can do it, but you got to have additional income because you can't outpace inflation working for cash. And another great thing, you want to be diversified, not in a bucket of stocks, mutual funds, ETFs. You don't want to just be all in one basket. You want to learn how to diversify. You want to understand the importance of going into different investments, not having just a 401k and nothing else. What if the 401k and you lose it, which we see happening already? Market just lost what? What was those numbers I gave you? Those are people's retirement. So you want to be diversified out of the US dollar. And I'm not here to tell you what to do, but here to give you education. And you've gotten education on why that's not a good thing. Okay, so we want to teach you. I want to teach you how to diversify. Then you also want to talk about it. Okay, if you're the smartest person in your group, great people, you're not going to grow at all. So if you want to grow, you want to be able to be around people who are smarter than you that you can learn. And you want to talk about these things. It's called social capital. You want to have good people in your life, mentors, coaches, people that you can learn from. This is super important, great people, to have a community to be locked in with, where you're all celebrating how you're thriving in the new economy. I'm so excited about that because I'm learning. I am telling you, I am the dumbest person in my network, and I'm learning so much. I'm really getting more intelligent because of this. And you want to reduce your expenses. You know, what bad habits do you have? What can you cut out? Okay, what can you stop doing? One thing I'm doing and learning to do is I eat one meal every other day. So this is disciplining my eating habits. I'm not spending money getting food. Some days, I do treat myself, but I make sure that I'm detoxing and working out. But you want to reduce, do you have bad habits like smoking cigarettes or drinking sodas or going out to movies, doing things, or this big trip you're planning for? Can it wait? Yeah, it can wait, because 9 times out of 10, with all due respect, you don't have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. So let's cut our expenses and let's learn to use credit the wise way. Let's open up and start that LLC, that business that you want to do, okay? Let's get business credit on Dun & Bradstreet. Let's get some of the language that I'm speaking about, you may not know about, but let's learn to use credit. Does a debit card pay you? No, but a credit card can pay you. And you can learn to invest in business. You can learn to do these things, great people, and all of the knowledge, I've learned it. It's right on YouTube. Oh my gosh, man, we should go back and just sue the school system because they didn't teach you how to use credit wisely. We just use it so we can impress the Joneses, okay? And that is when it becomes debt. And let's learn to save in a correct way. So what do I mean by saving in a correct way? Well, great people, you save in the US dollar. Inflation right now is pushing close to 9%. Hey, they tell you that you're getting something in the bank. If you save $100 in the bank, at the end of the year, you may get 6 cents, maybe. Okay? So we want to learn how to save correctly. So we save in assets that preserve your purchasing power. Physical gold, physical silver. Great people. This is the information they took out of the school back in the 70s. They didn't want us knowing this information because we came off the gold standard in 1971. But that's another subject there, but you got to understand how to preserve your wealth and save correctly and start stocking up on your food. Great people, the president himself stated that we're going to have food shortages and famine here in North America. Your boy Demi didn't say that. That's what your president said. Okay? So, if you're a person who's all into that, hey, take advice from that guy. But I'm letting you know you want to stock up on food, water, essential goods. You want to have these things. There's more to talk about. Feel free to reach out to me. Okay? You'll have in my description below, you'll have ways to reach out to me immediately and get me on the phone, okay? Breaking news. Oh man, this is super important right here, great people, because I didn't talk about it during the video, but most definitely it has to be talked about because it's a part of my life. It may be a part of your life, and it's a part of lives all over the world. And this is cryptocurrency. And just recently, we had a major situation that took place in the cryptocurrency space. And I want you to get educated on it. I want you to understand the importance of this space and know that there are three types of money. Okay? God's money, gold and silver. All right? That's it. That's God's money. You can't print that. You can't inflate that. All right? And the true price of that is not really what we're getting. You go to debtclock.org. Once again, debtclock.org. You see the true price of gold and silver, but that's God's money. And then you have government's money. Hey, it's printed, it's taking your life away. You can't grow in it. I mean, no interest on cash, paper. All right, that's government's money. It's going to inflate away like all fiat currencies, the correct name for them, have done in the past. And then we have people's money, which is cryptocurrency. A great opportunity, great people that started in the late 1900s, I think about 1999. There's been so many stories, Bitcoin being the first, the mom and pop of the industry, then Ethereum, two big ones right there. Once again, I would suggest, not advice, but education and entertainment. I'm sharing with you. I would suggest if you don't have Bitcoin or you don't have cryptocurrency, reach out to me. And also, you'll have in my description below where you can actually get a free ebook on Bitcoin. Get some knowledge, short ebook. All right, we'll talk about another ebook you can get from me free. All right, but let's talk about FTX because you may have heard about this. A big situation is we see 1 billion and 2 billion of FTX customers lost funds and have disappeared. And you have a lot of them putting up GoFundMe because they put all their eggs in one basket and didn't understand the importance of centralized and decentralized exchanges. But the collapse of FTX, and FTX actually stands for Future Exchange. Okay, if you want to know what that abbreviation is, and the gentleman that you saw was the CEO of FTX, and the collapse of FTX and what went wrong with the crypto exchange. The crypto exchange, FTX, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on November 11, 2022. This happened recently, guys. So we need to know about things like this, all right? And after a swift fall from grace, the company's valuation plunged from $32 billion to bankruptcy in a matter of days, dragging down founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried $16 billion net worth to near zero. FTX collapse shook the volatile crypto market, which lost billions in value, dropping below $1 trillion. Well, when I saw on coinmarketcap.com, where I want you to go if you want to learn more, coinmarketcap.com, it was at $1 trillion. All right. So the consequences of FTX rapid decline and collapse will likely impact cryptocurrencies. All right, and it has. But those who are getting education know how to still thrive in this market. It's all about who you're plugged into. And I talked about that in the video, that you want to be plugged into the right community, right group of people where you can learn. All right. Now, November the 16th, 2022, a class action lawsuit was filed in Florida federal court alleging that Sam Bankman-Fried created a fraudulent cryptocurrency scheme designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors from across the country. So this is very important, great people, that we learn about things that are happening because it's opportunity for you and I to take advantage of. That keyword, unsophisticated investors. We want to become sophisticated, right? And how do we do that? We get rid of that fixed mindset into a growth mindset. So decentralized platform is what FTX was. It didn't begin like that. Once upon a time, it was a decentralized, but it became a centralized platform. What is the difference between the two? Your bank is centralized. You can lose all of your cash in the bank. And some of the educators, financial educators, are saying this is going to happen. It's already happened in other countries and things that happen abroad. You can't ignore them, great people. So if you're sitting, once again, not financial advice, only financial education and entertainment. You're sitting on a lot of cash in the bank. Get educated fast because you could lose it. Even though FECI, they say that, your cash is protected. Great people. Check out what's happening in other countries, coming to America, to a bank near you. So that's centralized, okay? That's a centralized platform. So there are ways to decentralize your cryptocurrency. You see here Trezor. You have Ledger. These are offline devices where you can move your cryptocurrency offline. And they're decentralized exchanges for the ones who want to learn how to start trading. And this is a new thing that I'm studying now. I don't want to really deal, and I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with centralized exchanges. There's some good ones out here, to name a few, okay? You have Coinbase, you have Binance, US, and a lot of others that you can look up, but I'm saying I wouldn't have all of my cash sitting on one centralized exchange. I'll diversify. I'll begin to learn about decentralization, and now I'm giving you some sauce on centralized. So it's all on you to get this knowledge, great people. But I'm so super excited. And one thing I want to say, great people, that it's been such an amazing time spending with you today, sharing with you important information for those who want to get financially educated and those that want to take things to the next level. And like I mentioned, and if I didn't mention, great people, because there's so much on my mind, but I don't want to take this thing past 30 minutes, great people, because I know we're way over 20 now. But I want to say to you, go to the description below and you're going to text free ebook for Bitcoin, okay? Free ebook for mind change, so we can learn how to change the mindset, all right? I got 2 free offers for you, great people. Strictly free. I don't want anything for you. You're going to see in the description below how to obtain those free. I want you to text, and that number is below too. Text free ebook for Bitcoin. Free ebook for helping to change my mindset. All right. I want you to text that to me, and I'm going to get those books right over to you. Great people, it's been amazing spending some time with you, and I want you all to just grow mentally. Take this information that I shared very seriously, because we're in a completely different time. I want you to take care, take heed, stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.